We've had this conversation time and time again. When will Lando Norris finally get that oh so elusive race win? He currently holds a record I'm sure he doesn't necessarily love, which is being on the podium 15 times without a race win. He is still young, extremely talented, and McLaren seems to be in a position where a couple right moves could have them securing a race win. So, is 2024 going to be the season Lando Norris finally gets his first F1 win? I can't wait to see Lando Norris on the top step. He's been racing in Formula 1 now since 2019 and has spent his entire career with McLaren. He's been there for the super highs of the team and the ultra lows. Now, in 2024, he's closer than he's ever been before to finally getting his first race win. Of course, there's a big obstacle standing between him and that first race win, but this is Formula 1, and we've seen time and time again that anything can happen. So sit back, do a Lando on the podium, and absolutely smash that subscribe button, and let's dive in. Lando Norris must be feeling pretty ready to win. I mean, he's been on pole position one time in his career, and just last week in China, he was on pole position for the sprint race as well. Both times, he failed to convert these pole starts into race wins. But as we have seen time and time again, starting on pole doesn't guarantee a race win. Just ask Charles Leclerc when he starts on pole with Max alongside him on the front row. However, Lando's best chance at a race win came when he was on pole position, back when Formula 1 were still racing in Sochi at the Russian Grand Prix in 2021. He was just a couple of laps away from his maiden win when he decided not to pit for intermediate tires as the weather was getting worse, eventually losing out and dropping down to 7th. He also had to watch his teammate at the time, Daniel Ricciardo, win a race with McLaren at Monza in 2021 in a season where Norris himself was clearly the better of the two drivers. After a bad start under the new regulations in 2022, McLaren have made huge improvements to their car and have become serious contenders at most races. In 2023, Norris achieved 7 podium finishes, 6 of which were P2 finishes. In 2024, he has already achieved 2 podium finishes, 1 third place in Australia, and 1 second place in China. You can tell that Norris is just on the cusp of that first race win, and he just needs a little bit of extra luck. One of the other frustrating issues for Norris is that his teammate, Oscar Piastri, who is now in his second season in F1 and was a rookie last year, already has a race win under his belt. Oscar won the sprint race back in Qatar last year in the 2023 season. Seeing his teammates stand on that podium in P1 must have been extremely difficult for Norris, who's been trying to break down that barrier for years now. No F1 driver is immune to the outside noise, so they can try to block it out, let it affect them as little as possible, but everyone still hears it. Lando is no different. He knows that he holds the record for most podiums without a win. He knows that every time he seems to be in a position where he could be battling for the win, something either happens or he just isn't quick enough. He hears everything, and at some point, it can really become mentally draining. The fact that Piastri... Oh, sorry, let me just see who's calling. Oh, it's Lance. Okay, I'll just let it go to voicemail. As I was saying, the fact that Piastri already... Are you kidding me? It's Lance again. Let me just see what he wants. Hey Lance, is it important? I'm kind of in the middle of filming a video right now.
The car in front of me just stopped.
Yeah, I know, but we already went over this. I do think you have to be looking at the car in front of you and actually brake, especially under the safety car.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, okay. I'll call you later, okay? I gotta go. All right, bye. Sorry about that. As I was saying, Piastri having won a sprint race was a blow to Lando. You could hear how dejected he was after the race and the following races, constantly putting himself down about how he's not quick enough, how it's typical of him whenever he was having a subpar performance. All of this was amplified by essentially getting outperformed directly to a race win by his teammate who hadn't been with the team for as long as he had, didn't have as much experience, and wasn't the better of the two drivers throughout that season. Mentally speaking, Lando seems much more positive in 2024. He is still downplaying achievements because I'm sure even he knows that at this point he needs to get a race win to fully be relaxed again. And sometimes it seems like he uses a different driving style when he is leading the race, almost scared or cautious to not do anything wrong and mess up his chances, which in turn leads to mistakes being made. If he can somehow manage to block out some of this extra pressure, he'll have an even higher chance of getting his first race win, because he will be able to focus fully on what he has to be doing and not on what could go wrong. It's kind of crazy to think that Lando Norris would already have multiple race wins if it wasn't for one simple obstacle, and his name is Max Verstappen. In all fairness, Max Verstappen has been a barrier standing between many drivers and wins over the past couple seasons. But I believe Lando Norris, alongside Charles Leclerc, are the two drivers that have suffered the most from Max's dominance. 5 out of 6 times that Lando Norris finished second in 2023, he finished right behind Max Verstappen. This means that all it would have taken is a little mistake or problem from Max's car, and Lando would have been on that top step already. We have already seen Max have some issues with his brakes this year and was forced to retire the car, but unfortunately for Lando, Ferrari quickly collected the pieces with Carlos and Charles finishing 1-2. If Norris manages to stay competitive and as close to Red Bull as possible, he has every opportunity to finally get his maiden win this year. Lando Norris is bound to get his first win. It's just a matter of time at this point. And when it does happen, no one will be happier than Lando himself. With continued improvements to the car, Lando continuing to drive at his peak, and maybe just a little bit of luck, I think we'll see Lando Norris get his first win this year in the 2024 season. Thank you guys for watching this video, and as always, if you did enjoy, please make sure to like and share it with your friends. And let me know down in the comments below whether you think Lando Norris will get his first win this year. Thank you guys again, and see you next time. Bye.